You're watching TelecomTV's exclusive video coverage of the Gen 15 event from Dallas. I'm joined now by Yuri Gittik, who is Head of Strategic Development and Innovation at RAD. Yuri, thanks for talking with us on TelecomTV again.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what RAD is doing here at Gen 15 with Sandvine and CenturyLink?
This is actually we're showing the result of a pretty long collaboration with CenturyLink and Sandvine, and the idea is to add application awareness. So we started this work quite a while ago, and the idea was to add some application awareness to the traffic running in the network for certain purposes, for visibility, for providing the value-added services, as well as for operational purposes. And actually we join our efforts together with Sandvine and combine the solution, integrated the solution, and what we show today is integration of the solution. And the important point in this implementation is that in the customer side, you just need to plug a very small SFP device. There is no change of the equipment, and this small device talks to a centrally located engine of Sandvine, and which allow to understand what application is this. Then the small device mark the traffic properly in order to make the proper traffic handling and to collect the statistics, and maybe also to change the policy how to mark the traffic. So it's a pretty sophisticated machine in a very elegant implementation.
And why should telcos look at solutions like this? Why is it important to them?
Okay, so there is several reasons for this. First is just a pure plain vanilla connectivity. It's becoming a very commoditized service, commoditized offering in the market. So therefore offering additional visibility, additional traffic enforcement according to application is becoming pretty critical. And this is in terms of the value-added services. On the other hand, for operation, understanding the application and have the proper handling, it's also an additional benefit.
So you're demonstrating this as a proof of concept. What happens next?
So the next step is hopefully will be some pilot implementation, and again we have a lot of meetings around this POC also with the CenturyLink people as well as other carriers, so hopefully it will be some nice implementation process in CenturyLink as well as other carriers.
And looking generally, for those carriers who have adopted the Carrier Ethernet 2.0 specifications, what's the best strategy for them to enhance their services to move forward?
Okay. So I would imagine that Carrier Ethernet is becoming kind of, in a way, disappearing in the variety of the different services which are based on this. And this could be related to the cloud connectivity, it could be related to the application awareness solution. So it means that Carrier Ethernet is kind of a very solid foundation. Right.
And when we look at the virtualization of various functions that operators is looking at now, what are some of the first applications? Where are we seeing it? Is it in CPE? Is that one of the first areas we're looking at?
Maybe I'm a bit biased because we are doing some virtualization on the customer side. We were pioneering this, introducing the approach, or articulating, let's say more accurately, articulating the approach that we called distributed NFV. The idea was to run virtualization on the customer side. And then this technology actually landed in the hands of VCPE. And VCP in the beginning was considered only for IPVPN. Now we see a trend that it's additional use case for VCP. It's exactly for the Ethernet VPN services with a special functionality and implementation options. And I think it's pretty exciting development related to VCP story.
A final question for you. We talk a lot in this industry now about open solutions.
Right.
What do we mean by open?
Okay. So I would imagine that it's two major meanings of openness. First, it's to use kind of the open sources in order not to be locked to a certain vendor. And also this related to the possible self-development of the customer, that he can maybe within the available tools of the device, of the solution, or maybe some adding additional tools in order not to be linked to a very limited or some kind of specific roadmap of the vendor, and to gain additional freedom there.
Yuri, thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.